Hello everyone, and today we're taking a look at the Sega Mega Drive / Genesis in 2022. We're going to take a look at some real hardware. We're going to take a look at some of the games that you should check out there for the Mega Drive. So starting with Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously. This is recorded on real hardware. This is the PAL version, so it does appear slow. Here does run at 50 hertz, and the music is also too slow. The music in the background isn't the music from the soundtrack. We're just using the Spring Yard theme as the background music. But anyway, we'll take a look at real hardware. We'll take a look at some emulation, and we'll take a look at again some of the recommendations for games and for things that you can do to enhance the real hardware experience on the Mega Drive also. I'm going to refer to it as the Mega Drive from now on, just not Mega Drive / Genesis, because I'm from Europe and I think the Mega Drive is its proper name, so that's why we're going to refer to it like that for them. That was close there. Dodged that projectile skillfully, I might add. Right, so let's take a look at some real hardware. This is the Mega Drive 2. This one is a little bit beat up, but I do like the red buttons, the power and the reset buttons on the front. Quite a lot of scratches on this one. I did pick it up cheap a few years ago. Interestingly, the price has nearly doubled on these in the last few years. In terms of rear I/O, there's not much. There is the AC adapter and the AV port. You can have SCART or you can have component. Or I think you could do the, what was it, the RF connection as well. I think it has one of them as well. It all goes into the one port, like unlike the Mega Drive ones. This was the redesigned Mega Drive 2. That doesn't have as good an audio, a lot of people say, and it doesn't have a headphone jack like the Mega Drive 1, but it was smaller and cheaper to make. So if you're going to go with real hardware, I would recommend an EverDrive. As you can see here, we went for the X3, which is the base model EverDrive. But it is reasonably quite cheap. Took a while to arrive, but it did arrive from Ukraine. That's where it's made. So it survived the war zone, so, you know, it should be good to go, really. And again, the SD card was separate, which again, you can play all your legally obtained ROMs. How dare you accuse me of piracy? It's only 1 gig to download the full ROM set, though. Right, so let's check out some games then. This is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist, which is basically Turtles in Time. Basically, it is the Mega Drive's version of Turtles in Time because the Super Nintendo had the rights to the arcade version of Turtles in Time, but this is practically the same. Some of the levels are rearranged as well, but it has the same kind of control scheme, similar premise, really. It's just they changed the name and rearranged some of the levels. You start in the sewers instead of starting in Manhattan. I think you started on like it was like a construction site you were on in the first level, but this one you start in the sewers. Eventually, I think you eventually get the same levels, but this is quite an expensive game to buy for the Mega Drive, so be thankful for your EverDrive and your legally obtained ROM set that we got there. This had a few issues running on the Mega Drive Mini as well. That's another option if you want emulation. Although this is real hardware that we're running on. This is the European, once again the European version, so it is slower as they run at 50 hertz instead of 60 hertz there. So there is, I mean, it is a fun beat 'em up game. The Mega Drive had some fantastic beat 'em up games. Again, if you've played Turtles in Time on the arcade or on the Super Nintendo, then this is fairly similar to it. And it's not that it's a bad thing. Again, Konami had some really good licensed beat 'em ups as well on the Mega Drive, as well as, you know, the Super Nintendo as well. Back when Konami made decent games. I remember when Konami used to make games. This was the golden age of Konami. And speaking of beat 'em ups, let's go check out something else. Right, so this is Spider-Man and Venom Maximum Carnage, which is quite a fun, interesting little Marvel game. It was published by LJN. Again, this is real hardware. I like this little intro here where it tells you all the characters that it's featuring here, which is pretty cool, actually. I do like that. this little intro movie as well, with all of the Marvel characters that it features. The gameplay isn't great though. It's just a standard beat 'em up. I like the way all the NPCs are named. You've got Billy here and Mike that we get to beat up. Kind of similar to Streets of Rage, really. Only you're Spider-Man. You pull someone in with your web. You can swing from a web because he's the Spider-Man. Of course, that was Alex and Steve getting beaten up there. But yeah, I love the way they named all the NPCs, which is pretty cool. Take that, Malcolm. You're not in the middle now. But anyway, you get the typical. It's a typical beat 'em up for that era of game. Pull them in, get over here, and then again you can swing from a web because you're the Spider-Man, of course. But yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the way it introed all the characters. You do get cutscenes in the game, which is a bit weird for a Mega Drive game. The cutscenes are, of course, like comic panels. I got caught there while swinging from a web, beating up Mike there. But other than that, this game again is another very expensive game to pick up on the Mega Drive. For some reason, it's really expensive and rare. A lot of these Marvel games were pretty expensive to pick up. So, but again, if you can get this on an emulator, play it. I don't think it's worth buying because again, it's insanely expensive. But it is fun to do some web swinging in 2D, and you can climb up the wall there as well. So that's pretty interesting. Again, this is real hardware we're running on here. What I'll do is we'll check out some emulation now, and we'll look at some options for emulation of the Mega Drive, because it is a fairly easy game, an easy system to emulate. Any PC with a CPU that was made in the last 20 years can probably do it, and console emulation is pretty easy as well. Again, there's plenty of Mega Drive collections that you can get. We'll take a look at the Nintendo Switch as one of the more modern adaptations of Mega Drive emulation. Okay, so let's take a look at the Nintendo Switch then. We're using the Nintendo Switch Online Expansion Pass. Again, you get a selection of Mega Drive or Genesis. We've got the Genesis covers up. You can change the covers if you want there to Mega Drive if you want. Let's go try out Sonic 2 then. Again, the emulation is pretty good. You can press to rewind the game. You can load up suspend points. You've got save states here. Let's start with what was it called again? Casino Night Zone. That was a good zone. Interesting in Sonic 2 there. So you can load up your saves, you can save anywhere, and again, if you get it wrong, you can rewind. So it's pretty interesting. Sonic 2 was my favorite in the Sonic the Hedgehog series, original Sonic the Hedgehog series. You don't have to pay for Nintendo Switch Online if you want to do the Mega Drive. There is a Mega Drive collection, which is available on Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, so Xbox Series consoles as well, and PS4, and it's also backwards compatible on the PS5, so you can buy the Mega Drive collection. There's also the Sonic Origins collection, we should point out as well. That is available again for all modern consoles, including the Switch. As well, it only features the Sonic the Hedgehog games. I'm trying to get into that thing, and I'm not doing very well there. I'm not really struggling to get into that thing there. But other than that, everything runs okay, as you would expect. The Mega Drive Mini is another option. Again, it's emulation as well. It does feature a decent collection of games, but it's easily modifiable so that you can run many games. There is also a Mega Drive Mini 2, which is coming out, which is going to feature Mega CD game support. I should point out that the EverDrive, if you buy the EverDrive Pro, that will also feature the Mega CD support as well. You can also buy the Mega SD from Terra Onion, but the EverDrive Pro and the Mega SD, they are very expensive. I'm really gonna give up trying to get in there in Sonic 2. But yeah, Sonic 2 was probably my favorite game in the series. So again, it's quite easy to find Sonic. Again, it's just recently released in the Sonic Origins collection, which it's not too bad. The ports, again, it's available on PC as well as all the consoles, including the Switch. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out there. Or again, real hardware. Sonic 2 isn't that expensive because again, it was one of the best-selling games for the Mega Drive. So I bought it. It's only a couple of pounds to pick up if you want to pick it up on real hardware. Again, the European version. This is actually running at full speed though on the Switch, which is interesting. So it is 60 hertz. So it is the Genesis version rather than the European Mega Drive version on the Switch, and the music runs at the proper speed as well. That was the other thing about the Sonic games, and most of the games in general with the Mega Drive, is the music also ran slower. That was always, it was always an issue. Yay, I landed in the thing. I got 3 bars and got some rings. Nice. There we go. But yeah, Casino Night's a good level in Sonic 2. But anyway, let's go move on to something else now. As good as Sonic 2. I missed the bonus stage there. Right, so let's move on to Streets of Rage then. Another excellent beat 'em up. This one was made by Sega. And again, I like playing as Blaze because you could German suplex people, as you saw there. That's what I like doing in Streets of Rage. Again, another beat 'em up. This was awesome. Again, the Mega Drive had some amazing beat 'em ups. Again, we've seen the modern version of this be released a couple of years ago now. Streets of Rage 4 it was. This is Streets of Rage 2. We should point out, again, it is on the Nintendo Switch that we're doing. I might as well just continue to record them on the Switch while I was there. This dude with a knife is getting on my nerves. There, I got him. There you go. So you had like a special move there, again, another German suplex from behind there. You just grapple them from behind and do the German suplex. Or you could jump over them and do the German suplex. You had a special move, which you used with the A button, which... or I think it's the Y button on the Switch, but A button on the Mega Drive controller, which would cost you health, but it would do a special move. I'm jumping out of the way there because I don't wanna do that. I don't want to get hit by the car. Visions of Ninja Turtles in my head. There. Ooh, this dude's a bit tricky. See, there you go. There's the special move. It costs you a bit of health, but it is nice to do a special move. There you go, did it again there. See your health draining down there. Killing Jack here. Once again, it named all the NPCs as well, which I always thought was kind of funny. And people thought The Last of Us Part 2 was the first game to name NPCs. But no, Ninja Turtles and Streets of Rage did it. And Spider-Man did it as well. No, in fact, Ninja Turtles wasn't. They were just the Foot Clan. It was Spider-Man and Venom, Maximum Carnage, as it was known. Again, this game is reasonably expensive. You can pick it up as part of like Mega Games collection. They released like compilation cartridges. They did release things like that, so you can pick them up fairly cheap as part of that. Again, the Nintendo Switch online version, which is alright actually. I don't know if this is online multiplayer or not. I didn't see any options for it because I know some of the N64 games have it, but I don't think this does. I think the Mega Drive collection on the Switch, PS4, and Xbox consoles, that does have online multiplayer for Streets of Rage. Yeah, another German suplex there. There's Donovan there. We'll beat the hell out of him. Don't mess with Blaze. She'll kick your ass. But anyway, let's move on to something else. Let's try Gunstar Heroes, because that's on the Switch collection. Right, so Gunstar Heroes then from Treasure. Treasure, of course, made some really great shmups in their time. This is a run and gun game, but they made like some amazing shmups on the Saturn, Radiant Silvergun, Ikaruga as well on the Dreamcast and GameCube and PC now. It's on Steam now. You can get Ikaruga. But yeah, Gunstar Heroes was an awesome... You can see they like bullet hell, shoot 'em up games, and it does fills the screen with enemies for you to shoot in all directions, which is awesome. I love this game. Great in co-op as well. Streets of Rage, Turtles as well was great in co-op. The Mega Drive was probably the better multiplayer console, I'd probably say, of that generation over the Super Nintendo. I mean, the SNES had things like Mario Kart, Mario World. You had like Contra. You can get Contra on this as well. It was Contra Hardcore is on this, whereas you had Contra 3 on the Super Nintendo, which was a really good game as well. Some great Konami games there. But I always thought the Mega Drive was the better of the consoles. Each console only had 2 controller supports. I took a big hit there, didn't I? This dude's taking a while to die. There you go, and I got the health. I need to figure out how to pick it up. It's like down and A or something like that. Or is it down and B maybe? It's confusing because you're on a Switch controller. There it is. There you go. I picked up the health there. But anyway, Gunstar Heroes is incredible. A good game. You've got bosses. It reminds me, if you want a modern equivalent of Gunstar Heroes, Cuphead is probably the more modern equivalent of Gunstar Heroes. I always thought that reminded me a lot of Gunstar Heroes, especially in things. I mean, it's got a vastly different art style. Both are quite cartoony, but Gunstar Heroes is a, again, this different kind of style, but it's still a similarly cartoony style. I mean, this is more pixelated cartoony style rather than a 1930s 1940s Disney style cartoons. But anyway, that I've always thought that Cuphead is a kind of modern equivalent to the spiritual successor, if you will, to Gunstar Heroes, which is kind of similar in it's kind of similar in its gameplay. But anyway, we will wrap this up. The Mega Drive in 2022 is an excellent system to buy. I mean, it has gone up in price in the last few years. It has doubled in price, but it's still a reasonably affordable system. This is Captain America and the Avengers running on RetroArch. I'm playing as Hawkeye because why wouldn't you play as Hawkeye? Because Hawkeye's awesome. Why wouldn't you? Another Marvel beat 'em up, which is alright. It's not as good as Streets of Rage or Turtles in Time. Or sorry, Hyperstone Heist, should we say. But yeah, it's fairly decent. But yeah, the Mega Drive is certainly worth getting. The Mega Drive Mini is a cool console. It'll be interesting to see how well the Mega Drive Mini 2 does, as that's coming later this year. Hawkeye just jumped down there on his own. And that dude, thank you, Wonder Man. I give you a little thing to fly on. Oh, that's pretty cool. At least we can shoot, we can shoot our arrows from it. Yeah, there you go. If we were Captain America, we'd have had to throw in our shield. But anyway, yeah, the Mega Drive is certainly worth buying. It is I still think it's one of the best consoles ever made. The Mega Drive. I had one growing up. I had one a bit later. Growing up, I didn't get one until 1996. So the PS1 was out there then. But yeah, I had a Super Nintendo mostly, but the Mega Drive was one of the better 16-bit consoles. It is really easy to emulate these days if you want to get into emulating the Mega Drive. It is definitely worth doing, and it is worth picking up the collections as well because it is a fairly simple console to emulate. These things are distracting. Those green dudes that are got a weird kind of pattern that they're going in. But anyway, that is all for this video, so thank you for joining me. We'll see you again soon, and goodbye.